are listening to another episode of the Coaster 101 podcast. I'm Andrew Stillwell, and if you've been listening to this podcast for any stretch of time, you will realize that I like talking about Carowinds. It's my home park. I've been going to it, visiting the park for the better part of 25 years at this point, since I moved back to North Carolina. So I guess you could say, intimately familiar with what goes on at the state line, the place where the Carolinas come together. But this year, we've got some new things happening at Carowinds, and that starts this coming weekend, actually, with the park's spring break / screen break. There's a lot more happening at Carowinds this year, and so I thought, well, I know a lot. I wanted to bring on two people who know a lot more than I do because they're ingrained in it every day. Where every day is Saturday, the fun never ends, all of these things. So without further ado, I want to bring them in. I'm going to start with the guy who's been on the podcast a little bit more frequently. And by that, he's been on one more time. But regional PR manager, Chris Foshee. Chris, welcome back to the Coaster 101 podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Andrew. It's also always great to join you on here.
Of course, anytime. Of course, anytime. And then I would like to bring on for his second appearance. His first appearance that he had to remind me of was in 2021 when Carowinds won the Park Mania, which I believe was the 4th or 5th at that point. We're in the 10th now, but it's been a minute. But Patrick Wisniewski, Patrick, your title is Regional Social Media Manager
for of the East Region.
Perfect. Well, welcome.
Six Flags Entertainment Corporation. Hello. It's so good to be here again. I must have been very memorable. Must have been a very memorable show.
I will be perfectly honest with you, Patrick, and Chris. We're somewhere in the 180 episodes, and back in 2021, this would have been probably less than 50 episodes in. I've interviewed some really great people, and you guys are obviously part of that. But if I remembered every podcast episode that I've ever done,
I don't blame you.
It's tough. I'm being realistic here.
Oh yeah, I just like a back and forth, like trading of yucks with you, Andrew, as always. So
yes,
I appreciate you having me.
As long as I'm not a child on Joe Cool's driving school, I think you and I are going to be
move out of the way, kid.
That's a deep. That is a cut. That is a theme park podcast deep cut. You can figure that out on your own if you want to. Anyway, guys, we're talking Carowinds, and this is a very exciting year for Carowinds. I believe it is the 53rd season of operation.
Yeah.
But you guys are doing some new and unique and exciting things. I've been to the park already this spring. But let's talk the first couple of weeks. How have the first couple of weeks been at Carowinds this year for you guys?
I think it's gone great. We've had strong attendance. We've had moving turnstiles and happy guests. The park looks great. We have 3 train operations going like mad. The food and beverage team is in mid-season form. I mean, just dropping hand-breaded chicken tenders from the 3-point line and just walking back just calling their shots. Entertainment, getting ready for a big spring break. Yeah, I mean, it is happening at the state line.
Yes. Patrick, what about you? What have you seen?
Yeah, really, you can feel it in the air. Like I've been talking about, it's been electric ever since pass holder preview, really. Everyone's just so excited this season, not only our guests, but just our associates. We have our regional general manager for the East, Jessica Naderman, who folks might have heard from Dorney Park previously, is a role similar to Jeffrey Siebert in Texas. She's kind of used the phrase commitment to quality across the board, and very much those are things we've always thought about, right? But tripling, quadrupling down on those things. Very much what are unique things that we can do to elevate the experience even more for our guests, and just remind pass holders and ourselves about some of the amazing things that we have to offer, and those fun moments across the board. I've seen that through our guests' reactions, and our associates' reactions, and it's just it's just been wonderful. Like, it's been just such a joy to see across the board.
Yeah, and I mean, Chris, you mentioned the park was looking great. I want to echo that sentiment. I know there's been kind of that commitment to quality, like Patrick was talking about. The landscaping is looking good. The the midways are looking good. There's a giant Amazon box crate
Oh,
thing that we're going to talk about much later.
yeah.
That looks good. So I mean, I think there's definitely been, and I think Chris, you also used the phrase mid-season form as it relates to chicken tenders. I want to talk about the operations real quick because they were, again, I was there the second week. I happened to miss the pass holder preview night, but they were trains were flying out of that station. And I think the Fury crew very much in mid-season form. So again, kudos to you guys, kudos to the park ops team, kudos to everybody involved because a lot of times early in the season you can kind of catch those early season jitters. Some things might not be open, but when I was there at the park, it was running like it was a July, you know,
Yeah.
it was great.
And if you
So
look at the grand picture of it all, I mean, it's really impressive because, I mean, you have people out there that are just starting their very first jobs. This is their first, couple of weeks on the ground. And the fact, I mean, I know, like, culture eats strategy for breakfast. And I think that's definitely here kind of going on what Patrick says. Like, you can feel it in the air. We have good momentum. We have people that want to be here and that want to contribute. And, that stuff makes all the difference in the world.
100%, I totally agree. But we got to talk about this a very exciting event calendar. You guys touched on it a little bit during the pass holder Q&A. So actually I want to go back to the pass holder Q&A. That was something you guys did for the first time this year. Can you talk a little bit about kind of how that process came to be? I know, Chris, you were up on stage ham and egging it a little bit and, saying some things you shouldn't have said, allegedly, or maybe not. But how did that whole thing come together? Like, how was the decision made to be like, hey, we're going to open the park early to pass holders like we typically do, but let's give them the opportunity to ask some questions to learn a little bit more about what's going on this season.
Yeah, I think it kind of goes back to what Patrick mentioned earlier is just kind of, we want to show our pass holders, that they are appreciated and that we are listening to them. I mean, they are definitely an important group, fan base within the park. We listen to them a lot. So that was just an opportunity for us to kind of, just be transparent with them, kind of show them what's ahead. Get that good dialogue and that communication going and, have some fun with it as well. And I think it hit kind of all those objectives. I'm glad you dug it.
Absolutely. I'm glad though that we're still talking. I mean, on one of those Q&As, Brian, who's the park manager, he did fire you. So I'm
Yeah.
glad you're still here. I'm
All fun and games.
glad you got to rebound. We're very excited for that. But we're headed into the spring break season. We're approaching Easter week. But for the first time ever, Carowinds they're going not just spring break, but they're going scream break as well. So talk to me a little bit about what goes into scream break and what guests can expect.
Yeah, I'll pick it up and I'll pass it to Patrick. But, spring break's always been a popular time to visit Carowinds. As you mentioned, the park looks beautiful. The landscaping is popping. I mean, it's quintessential spring in the Carolinas. And I think we've been able to capture that. For spring break, I mean, it's no difference. We do have an amazing lineup of entertainment, Easter egg hunts. We have, Spring Break Central, where we'll have like a lot of activities. We have dance parties, cornhole tournaments. We're bringing back the sticky paint show as well. But I think what most people are most excited about is our Scream Break. We're going to be opening up the Conjuring Beyond Fear, which was our new haunted attraction that we introduced during Scarewinds last season. So for the first time ever in park history, guests will get to experience the Conjuring Beyond Fear, one of our premium haunted attractions, before the fall season. We're really excited about it. The response has been good. All that information is available online if, people are looking to get tickets. But yeah, man, it's just a great opportunity. It's a wonderful haunted attraction, Andrew, and we're really proud of it. We've risen the bar, and we get a chance to invite more people to experience it, which is pretty cool.
Absolutely. And yeah, I got to experience it during Carowinds last year. Truly unlike anything Carowinds has ever done. And this is somebody, I've been going to that event now, I think 10 or 12 years at this point. As long as I've been writing for Coaster 101, I've been at Carowinds. And like you said, Chris, the bar was raised to this new level, which selfishly I hope is the new baseline for Halloween haunts. And with no offense to the other mazes and the other, scare zones and experiences, there was kind of that level, and then the Conjuring cranked that up to like 11 or 12. So I very excited that you guys are opening it for Scream Break. It's one of those that's back there in the old Days of Thunder, Plants vs Zombies, SpongeBob 4D theater. There were all these action. Seventh Portal. Patrick's got
that. Cut.
Last laugh.
Yeah, in 3D.
All of these things, it's back there in Aeronautica Landing. So if you go past all of the airplane or aviation themed attractions, you will find it. Patrick, I know you're somebody who's super passionate about the haunt space. Yeah. What did it mean to you to kind of have an attraction that, kind of set the bar as a lot of these other, major Halloween events? I've heard it compared. I'm not going to name other parks, but there's a chain that has a Halloween event in Orlando and Hollywood that's kind of the standard. And I heard a lot of people compare the Conjuring Beyond Fear to that.
Some sort of movie park or something. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So really, it's special to me because this is how my Carowinds journey began. Right, was with Carowinds in particular and haunted attractions. And very much my first job was as a character in the playground scare zone in 2013 at the park, flinging baseball puns at people didn't look like a t-ball player like I was cast, just looked like a random spooky kid and had the best time of my life, right? And it's very special to me as an event and knowing all the people that worked on it in general, but being able to elevate this, right, to the next level and have an experience that, I've said, not only do I think it's the best experience that Carowinds has ever done, I think it's one of the best experiences that the park, and in the industry I've seen, right? I mean, it's Brass Ring Award nominated for IAAPA this past year. So just seeing everyone at the park and everyone at Plague Productions who put their heart and soul into this, it is a true love letter to that film franchise. Myself being a fan of that storytelling and the narrative and everything, everything you could ever imagined, is captured in there. Even down to merchandise, in food and beverage, the archive of artifacts in the store that's going to be open for you all, during this time period too. Is one of my favorite stores, in the park, incredible. My wallet is crying after visiting every time. But so, and then also Mulligan's Workshop Bar, right? And having incredible drinks, and elevating that experience through a different sense, different one of the senses. So just having something of that level of a franchise and a story that means so much to people at our park, and to have that love and attention, it's just astounding, and awesome to see, and very much I think has turned the page and started the next chapter for that event, in the park, and how we think about live entertainment. So it's super great to evolve and offer it during a different time of the year, right? And just listen to feedback in general too. I mean, my goodness, I was right there with you folks. I'm a haunt dork like you. I was waiting in the line for The Conjuring. I was out there for a while, right? God bless our operations team who really efficiently, it is if you go behind the scenes of The Conjuring Beyond Fear, seeing everything that has to be done is a orchestra, of scares. Everything has to be timed, so well. So they did things efficiently as much as they could, right? Well, this year, with some of our updated technology, we're going to have a virtual queue for the experience in general. So like when you go to carowinds.com and you get your entry and you purchase entry before, when you get to the park, you'll have like the instructions. Once you do that, you'll be able to select your time so you can go enjoy and do other things, and you can explore some of those things like that I talked about, right? And then you're going to be able to go like in efficiently, like so like we want you to be able to have the best experience possible, and I think like we're listening to those things, and it'll continue to evolve even going forward.
And that's all on carowinds.com and the Six Flags app, correct?
Yes. So Perfect. You'll definitely go to carowinds.com. You'll be able to get your entry there. You can also access it through the Six Flags app. So if you go there, then when you are kind of going through various things that we have to offer, you can find it there too. But yeah, you'll go there, get that entry, and we'll give you all the instructions you need for when you come to the park.
Perfect. And this, I know back in the fall, it was a screamium experience, if you will. There was an additional fee on top of your admission to Carowinds. Is that fee is continuing into Scream Break, correct?
Yeah, that is correct. You will. It's technically a screamium experience. You will be required to have a haunted attractions pass, but just specifically for it.
Okay, perfect. And is that number public yet, or is it out there? Starting at
$15.
Yeah,
15. Not bad at all. As someone who's experienced this firsthand, I'm comfortable and very happy to pay that, because it truly is. Even as somebody who's not as big of a haunt nerd as Patrick is, I thought it was incredibly well done. The cast was amazing. Is it a lot of the same cast who came, who was there this fall? They'll be there this spring?
Yeah, we got the band back together almost like it's the same old cast, but they've had plenty of time to master their crafts. So I would be prepared. Even you go during Carowinds and you kind of have one expectation. I would expect it just to be geared up just a little bit. We hired a new entertainment manager, Matt Riddle, who is from the West Coast, from Knott's Berry Farm. He seems to be a haunt aficionado, and he's bringing the heat, man. He's coming in and he is wanting to raise the bar on all of our haunted attractions and our Carowinds and our out inside the park. Very strategic. So I would say that group in that house is going to be ready to go come Spring Break.
And that's coming up quick. I mean, this is Spring Break starts Thursday or Friday this week?
Yeah, April 3rd.
I don't even know what today is. Today is the 31st, so that is Friday.
Friday,
so we are coming up quick. And you guys are open through that Easter holiday, through that next week, all the way to the Sunday following Easter, which is the 12th. The 12th.
Yeah.
There we go.
Right.
Conjuring will be 3 through 11. And it opens at 2 o'clock each on the select days that it's offered. So Conjuring open at 2 and then through park close.
Perfect. Well, for the people who are, maybe don't want to get scared with their spring break activities, right? What else does Carowinds have to offer during spring break that guests can expect?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've got kind of everything covered. If you've ever visited during spring break, you kind of know, like, we have some Easter activations. We're going to have a huge Easter egg hunt. We're going to have a Peanuts dance party, a cornhole tournament, which should be fun. Like, going to have like a title of a champion. So that's going to be happening all at Spring Break Central, which is just outside of Harmony Hall. Right before you go into Camp Snoopy. We're going to have bubbles parties. There's talks about us breaking a world record on Saturday, April 11th at 1. So if you want to be part of history, be out there for that. And then again, this Sticky Paint Show, which is coming back to the Carowinds Theater. Patrick is like the spring break expert. You got anything to add there? He's written like 40 blogs on it.
Oh yeah. So yeah, like one of the cool things, like Chris had mentioned about Matt, like in the team, and I think what you'll be seeing for like special events and live entertainment is just thinking how to make it like how to think strategically and very much like how to make the most impact and have the most variety for people. So a lot of those things Chris is talking about when you go to carowinds.com and you look at the event listing, some of those things kind of rotate in, like in general. So you could come to the park one day, have it focused on something, and then come another day and it could be completely different. So that's really exciting. Like a lot of the peanut stuff too. I mean, Camp Snoopy, which we really emphasized in the expansion to that area with Racing Railway and River Raft Blast. Those are two just incredible attractions, and I think we're going to be amplifying those through the live entertainment that we offer, like in the connections through there. I mean, like there's that Peanuts like kind of scavenger hunt, like the I Spy that's going to be offered. That sounds so fun. I'll be out there. I'll be out my Peanuts button up doing it. Try to figure everything out. So yeah, like, and also you can't beat the Easter Beagle and Eggward. I mean, what you can't beat that with some Easter fun with that. So it's going to be a good time.
I love it. And then I'm looking, you Patrick, you mentioned kind of this events calendar. There is no rest for the wicked here. You guys go immediately from spring break into year 2 of Viva La Fiesta, which I believe is going to bring some new food, some experiences. I had a really great time at this event last year. What's going on this year that makes it better?
Yeah, so Chef Araj, he's fully embedded in this event. Last year, he kind of came in and inherited much of the menu, but this year he's really owning it. So I would expect a lot of new tasty dishes. But year 2, we're turning up the heat a little bit. We're going to have some more entertainment, some salsa bands, an extended menu. If you visited last year, the high energy entertainment, the festival, the colors, the flavors of Latin culture, I would say that, but elevated up to the next level this year, just with another year under our belt. And it was extremely well received last year. We're just always trying to get better, bigger and better. And this is a great event. I mean, I like it much more as a spring event. I think it really adds to the space of where it's going to be held right there between Thunder Striker and Harmony Hall. So yeah, really looking forward to that. And man, the music and the dancing is fun. It's interactive. So you're not just going there to watch someone sing. You can't help but feel the energy and become part of the event. It's really cool.
Yeah. And like I said, we talk about that. We're emphasizing that we're listening to what people are saying, right? And like very much love that event, and but it's hot outside like in that area right during that time, which is why you see something like a splash water parade coming in during the time that Viva was, and then you have Viva back a little bit. So and just the unique little things that Matt is bringing, very much there's going to be close-up magic in different character experiences will be super fun, in different surprises for people that are going to make the event feel alive. And with the city of Charlotte, and the Carolinas, the Latin American community is so important, to this area, and just with our changing, and growing population, right? That community just has such a great culture in our city. And that's just such a great thing for us to be able to celebrate, with every entertainment offering that we have, and making those guests who are a part of that community feel celebrated in the park, but also introducing folks who might not know about aspects of Latin American culture, and welcoming them into that world, showing its vibrancy.
And Patrick, correct me if I'm wrong, but for the first time ever, the food is going to be included in the dining plan.
Yeah, parts of it will be included in the dining plan. We'll have more information. Kind of had tested and did a little bit of that last year, but Chef Raj and Frank here at the park and the team have focused very much on trying to have those connections to those touch points that our season pass holders have.
Yeah. And I would say even furthermore, if you fancy yourself an adult beverage, this would be another great event. I mean, they keep rolling out an incredible drink menu, introduce some new cocktails in Harmony Hall this year. I would expect the same at Viva La Fiesta, and then over at the water park when we get ready to open that Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah. Theme parks and drinking subculture totally exist. I 100% agree. There's definitely accounts that are devoted to both those two things. So you guys know your audience. That's great. I want to talk a little bit more about food as a whole. I know there are some new menu items throughout the park. You touched on the dining plan. I'd visit to the park. I went to the one restaurant in the park that's not on the dining plan, and I had a Cuban sandwich that was amazing. So I got to give a shout out to the Terminal A culinary team on that one because I love a good Cuban sandwich. But what are some of the other new and unique menu items? And I know you've got a what you used to have was this Instagrammable milkshake stand. Now that's changed as well.
It's a big deal. I know when you're walking around the park, sometimes you can get in a real pickle for something that, like, to find something different,
This guy's cool as a cucumber over here.
And anyway you slice it, like Thunder Road Drinks and Snacks is going to be the best spot for you. Yeah. So we redid Shake Central on that location to Thunder Road Drinks and Snacks. Let me tell you, I had the item yesterday, pickle on a stick. I love pickles. Just a fantastic, just different option that's super fun, but also like flavored options. So we have like flavored pickle chips, like in a cup, and then just also the theme park snacks like that you enjoy and just want to find like with ease, right? We listen to people all the time of like, oh, where can I get popcorn? Where can I get like my pretzels? Like, and we want to add more of those traditional like things and areas, right? But also having that unique flair still. And just with the area and aesthetically, it just looks so good. And honestly, I've talked to people, it's like kind of a nice transition point now. So when you're walking from the covered bridge that way and you're looking straight at it, it fits the aesthetic like of the Thunder Road area, but also kind of fits Camp Snoopy, like as a good transitionary point, like in James and the team, like on the building side, like really they focus a lot to that attention to detail and to subconsciously make you feel more at home in the areas.
Yeah, I also give a nod to the Rusted Rooster, which is not exactly a dining location; it's a retail location. But we've added a lot of awesome stuff of the boysenberry variety from Knott's Berry Farm into that location. So I would definitely make it a point to stop by there to see if you can get some boysenberry barbecue sauce and some treats and stuff. That's new and unique. I'm really digging it.
Yeah, that redo is one of my favorite things that I've seen at the park, like very much in a very long. It's like one of my favorite projects, and I want to give a shout out to Paul Bonnefeld, who like that might be familiar to some folks, like formerly as a part of what you would call like the Experience Design Studio or corporate planning and design now at corporate kind of like Six Flags is Imagineering. Paul like has joined the merchandise team here as an area manager, and he brought a lot of focus and attention to detail into that location, and it's just awesome. Like it just fits the vibe just so well of the core of what this park is, but then also tying in other bits and pieces from different family members like in our company like Knott's is just such a great job. And I think across the board, one of the biggest changes you're going to see this year like is related to merchandise, right? Of where, and even on our social channels, you've noticed, right? There's so much really, really cool stuff and hard work that goes into our shop locations that people don't know. And we've made it a goal to emphasize that more about, yes, like you have your rides, you have your food, but really like our shops like are starting to become another attraction into themselves. Like Camp Store is phenomenal. Like one of my favorite theme park stores ever. Like I could walk in there like every day, like and look around and discover something new, right? And just love the vibes of it. And Rusted Rooster. And then we have State Street Emporium coming like around Memorial Day. And very much what you'll see with that. And that transformation is kind of like a step to what would be like the plaza area back in the heyday of Carowinds, like that classic Carolina, like small town Carolina architecture, like in that vibe, and also like a narrative to it too, right? There's going to be a focus on narrative and immersion in our locations, and this kind of department store aesthetic that will have a backstory, like in different characters that are related to it. It's just going to be really exciting.
You jumped on me a little. You jumped ahead of me a little bit. I was getting ready to ask. You were talking about retail, and I was like, "Tell me about State Street," but you did, so we're on it.
There you go.
And I will tell both of you, and if you're retail folks happen to be listening, my visit to the park, I did come home with a bottle of boysenberry balsamic grilling glaze. So
You
I
fancy?
I'm real fancy.
Good.
It's gonna be great on some chicken that I probably won't overcook. So it's gonna be great. But I saw the Knott's things in there, and I know during that pass holder Q&A, I believe there's more Knott's things coming. I think it was the
Yeah.
figure they gave was like 60% of the retail offering is there. The other 40% is eventually coming. So I've had the boysenberry mustard before, the barbecue sauces. I'm excited for those to make their way into the Rusted Rooster as well. All right, we've made it 30 minutes. I've gotta ask a little bit about the there's a big box. It's fragile. It's must be Italian.
Oh, I love
Uh,
Leonardo's. Have you eaten
yeah,
there before? I love
I
Italian.
hey, listen,
So good.
great
You love
pizza.
his pizza?
Wonderful pizza. But there's advertisements throughout the park. We've got record breaking fun along the way. Is there anything you guys can tell me other than the answer of stay tuned to Carowinds.com and Carowinds social channels as we continue to unwrap this box, this gift piece by piece?
Wouldn't you like to know? Wouldn't you like to know? What are we doing? You know, Andrew, you pry and you pry, and this is stuff that'll get you blacklisted.
Listen,
You've been a friendly media source all this time, but we're not going to stand for it. This type of gotcha journalism just will not fly. And no, it's all good and fun. Patrick's been delivering the teases out there galore. We're really excited about it. We're looking maybe to share some news, later this summer. But I'll say, man, it's something really to get excited for. It's really unique, and yeah, it smells like pine trees.
it
It
does.
does. It's a great smell out there, and just very much like as a Carowinds fan, as one of you all, I'm very, very excited. And I think it's something very much like that's inspired by the DNA of what the park is, but really like innovative and like moving us forward.
Yeah,
If that makes sense. That's going to
I
be
would say, yeah, that's a great way to put it. I would say for the industry too. Like
yeah.
this is the next evolution of attractions, which is really cool.
And more to come later this year on Carowinds.com and Carowinds social channels, right, guys?
That's correct. Yeah.
See, I plugged your stuff. You gotta unblacklist me now.
Boom. I
We'll
think
see.
you got that. We'll take it under advisement.
All right, so that's gonna do it. No, I'm kidding. It's not actually gonna do it. Another thing I want to talk about, and it's again, I'm kind of like food motivated. I'm like my dog over here that's laying on the ground. When you give her a treat, she wants a treat. But you guys also made some improvements to Harmony Hall. There's a couple new menu items, some logistical changes, operational efficiencies, I believe is the correct term. When a park is doing things like that, the things that the average guest may not notice, like if you walk in there, it's opened up, there's no longer doors to the bar. What goes through the park's mindset when making these operational changes?
I would say it's always looking for opportunities to get better. You have a lot inside of a park that you can touch from season to season, a lot of moving pieces, a lot of guest enhancements, but it really comes down to, what can we do to make a big impact today? Hats off to our park manager, Brian Ording, who has done a phenomenal job. This is his second year as kind of the head ball coach for us, and he's been doing a tremendous job kind of identifying these opportunities and then rallying the team around them to really make them impactful. Harmony Hall is just one example. You mentioned our landscaping earlier. That's something that oftentimes goes unnoticed, but man, we're adding 100 trees throughout the park, 100 trees. That might seem small, but that's going to be much appreciated shade. And as well as, we have some stuff in the works in the water park as well. enhancements to our lazy river, and all the rest of the attractions. I mean, it's just it's an always, no days off kind of mentality, always trying to find the best ways to make an impact.
Okay. I respect it. Listen, the commitment to the overall guest experience, the commitment to excellence, it's showing. And I think especially, for a year with I got to call a spade here. There's no major new attraction this year. Last year we were very blessed. We got Snoopy's Racing Railway, we got Charlie Brown's River Raft Blast. Got Palmetto's opened last year, the swim up bar, the first swim up bar in the Carolinas. So it's very cool to see, as someone who again visits this park multiple times a year, that even in a year where there is nothing quote new, there is still a lot going on, which I think is a fan. I definitely appreciate.
And it's talking about the little things being major, right? Like I think our industry is evolving so much where things where we would traditionally think is like, here's the big new attraction necessarily, like that's changing, like in a lot of ways, I think. And like realistically, like all the things that we're talking about, like I think it's what kind of every theme park should do, is just so much of the little things add up and matter that you treat like what you would consider the small things as like the big things. Like even like State Street like happening, like that is a huge space with huge stuff happening, like a huge revamp, and definitely like you traditionally would think of like that as like a major new attraction, but we're really considering in everything that we talk about and do, everything's our Fury 325. Like everything is our major new thing.
Yeah, I'll even kind of, our buddy Scott Clemens, who, works in the park support marketing, he mentioned that it really makes good sense that, the new rides and attractions will bring people like, oh yeah, like let's give Carowinds another shot, or they'll bring people to the park. But like the little things and the guest enhancements, what keeps them coming back and make sure that they have a good visit. And that's really important.
Yeah. Talking about that kind of next generation of guest enhancements, there is one kind of, I guess you can call it an attraction. It's kind of a walk around interactive attraction more so than something you'd actually ride. Last year, Carowinds unveiled the Camp Snoopy Birdwatchers Club, which was an augmented reality game. I think there was 4 or 5 touch points in the lines for the attractions where you could take your phone, you could play some interactive games while you're waiting in line for these children's rides that have lines that might be a little long for some younger guests. But now there's going to be another kind of, describe it to me, I think it's kind of like a scavenger hunt of sorts in Camp Snoopy. What can you guys tell me here?
So we've got some excellent activation points around the park that kids will be able to, get a merit badge and kind of complete a scavenger hunt, an interactive scavenger hunt, and complete these challenges throughout the park. There'll be elements of the park that will, engage with the guests back. It's really, if you look at, we got nominated for a golden ticket with Camp Snoopy last year, which is a big deal. Like, make no mistake about it. We're trying to put together one of the world's best kids areas, and we're not shy about it. And I think this is just one more element to help us get there, that really captures the imagination of our younger guests and allows them to immerse themselves into the Peanuts universe.
100%. And like, honestly, I tell people Camp Snoopy, like right now, is my favorite area of the park. Like truly, like the way, also like with that brand, like how fortunate are we like to be able to have like that brand and that set of characters at this park? Like what Charles Schultz created is so timeless and connects with so many people in, like not only in the United States, but like internationally. Like so great. Like, and we're fortunate every day to like help tell that story, but just also in unique and different ways. And I love my coasters just as much as everyone, right? But like we really are trying to think outside of the box, and we're like, what can I have for those people that Fury 325 or Copperhead Strike might not be their jam? Like, but not necessarily like they don't necessarily need something like a Wilderness Run or something like smaller. They might not like rides. like in general. So having an interactive like game and experience, like for my theme park fans, if you think about like a Kim Possible World Showcase, Adventures King, Phineas and Ferb, and then DuckTales, is super fun, right? Or the pirate game, like at Magic Kingdom, or if you even think about like some of our stuff that we've experimented at Knott's with, right? Of like a ghost town alive, like kind of putting you into that world a little bit and having those interactive moments. So like, and again, you're going to have like these little lanyards with it that I'm super excited to collect. I think there are going to be 5, but each like a different merit badge focused on a different Peanuts character. And you're kind of going to get, as you're getting these quests, right? You probably have seen them in the park. They were installed actually last year, like that you're able to see. And they're kind of these base quest spaces that you go to, and there are moments where Charlie Brown or different characters will talk to you and share like, hey, like here's what like certain thing you need to go do out like in Camp Snoopy, and you go do that for that character, which for a kid and like for myself like as a Peanuts fan is pretty awesome, like to just have that touch point and interaction into the world like that I'm a part of rather than necessarily passive. So it's just, I'm really stoked. It's going to be great. And I will be out there playing it with the rest of you this summer, hopefully.
Okay. Patrick, I want to call out something you said because you're the pun guy, or one of the pun guys. Chris, you're a pun guy too, but Patrick's the pun guy. You said Copperhead Strike. Said Copperhead Strike is not people's jam. And I love that.
I'm glad you caught that. Thank you.
You that was probably unintentional, but you know what?
It was completely unintentional, but I'm going to take credit for it. I'm going to use it from now on.
As you should. Before we wrap this episode up, I got 2 more questions. And you know, we've talked about the spring, but what can guests look forward to in the, you know, beyond spring break, beyond Viva La Fiesta, obviously beyond fear, beyond the Conjuring, you know, what's on tap the rest of the year at Carowinds?
No, we've, talking about a year where maybe we don't have a new ride or whatever. I think we have plenty to do and plenty of stuff going on. So spring break, April 3rd through 12th, really excited about that. Return of Viva La Fiesta. That's going to run on select days from April 17th through May 17th. And we don't let up there. I mean, we got Carolina Harbor opening Memorial Day weekend, May 23rd. We've got a new Bands in Residence, which is a new show that's going to run June 13th through August 9th. And that's going to be like really good local musical acts full of like Carolina flair. And then in the middle of the June month, we're having Splash Water Parade come, and that's going to run all the way through mid-July. Really excited about that. You may have caught a glimpse of it. Debut last season at a few parks, Worlds of Fun, Six Flags Over Georgia. I think we've continued to kind of enhance that product. I'm really excited to see what that's going to look like. I mean, a parade is returning to Carowinds, which is really exciting, and it is a great way to cool off. So, I mean, it is coming right in the heat of summer, which is going to be really great for families. America's celebrating 250 years. So, we're going to go big with the fireworks over Fury for our Star Spangled Nights. And then we have our whole fall lineup. We have Scarowinds, Tricks and Treats, then followed by Oktoberfest, which has been moved mainly into November. So that'll run specifically November 7th through the 22nd. And then getting ready for our Winterfest event and New Year's Day celebration. And that'll cap off our 26th season. So we have little nuggets here and there that we'll sprinkle in as we get going, a little surprises for the fans. But, jam-packed, a lot of stuff to do.
Perfect. I love it. I look forward to it. Can't wait to get back out to the park. Maybe have another Cuban sandwich. Maybe try something else. Yeah. I gotta take a couple of laps around Charlie Brown's River Raft Blast. I did that last year. It was I don't think I've laughed that much riding an attraction.
Man, I am so glad to hear you say that because I felt pretty silly that naming it. It's top 5 attraction for me. There's something about it that I feel like the world needs right now. It's like having a good old water gun battle with a complete stranger. there's something beautiful about that, and you're laughing and you're having fun. I tried it. It was on like a Friday. I had a meeting at 3:00, and it's like 2:00. It's like, yeah, we'll get out there, do a quick little ride through. I'm in khakis and a button up, and I'm talking about people lit me up, soaking wet. Had to go home, but God, just such a fun attraction. And then Snoopy's Racing Railway continues to get better as well. Added some nice touches and throughout the ride. So I don't know, man. It's fun.
You gotta check them out. Like I love Racing Railway so much consistently, like across the board, and try to go ride it. And like some of the touches that like Chris talked about, like there's animatronics like functioning in like that barn scene, right? And not only that, like they're with the story. Like, so when you go through the first area, like you'll see them do one thing, but then when you've gone back around, because the story's progressed, they're doing something completely different. Like, so it's just like so fun. You have to check it out.
And in the spirit of Easter, that is the Easter egg we're looking for. The animatronics change on, depending on what lap you're on, which is pretty great.
Check that crate, that Amazon package. There could be another Easter egg or two.
Yeah, I think there's, who's going to be on it is our buddy Coasters, Haunts, and Dark Rides. And you guys are familiar. He's going to be on it. He's on the case. I rely on him for my my Carowinds day-to-day updates.
He may be too close to it. He may be trying to. I think it's best for a fresh set of eyes.
All right, I'll be out there this weekend. I'll see you guys there.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
Before we go, I got one last question.
Okay.
Over the years, Carowinds has had its fair share of walk-around characters, be it Nickelodeon characters, or be it the Hanna-Barbera characters, or even the park's own IP. If you could bring back one of those characters, which character would you bring back?
Patrick, I think this is a softball question for you, bud.
It's Granny, 100%.
Oh wow, what a
poll.
So yeah, and to give people perspective, like I had moved back in 2017. I'd taken a break a little bit kind of from the industry and moved back to the Charlotte area like 2017. And missed theme park and like had a lot going on, was feeling kind of sad. I was like, I'll go to one of my happy places. I'll go to Carowinds. And I go to Carowinds and just see like this old lady like walking around doing all, like, what is this? I'm like, who is that? I just started watching the Townsfolk of Carowinds. That's what they were called, like during that time. So it was a Streetmosphere program. And I'm honestly telling you, like, in order for me like to feel better, I would literally come to the park like and watch Townsfolk and just sit out there like and watch the little shows they were doing. Like, so incredible. And Granny is an amazing person. Granny is a person that helps out the park on occasion with different trainings and things like that, and is a very, very good friend of mine. But just the energy and the comedy, like, I just love that. And I love, as the person who's part of it, like Streetmosphere, just at the park. And I think you're actually going to see some of that return a little bit this year, like in a new way. So it'll be Matt's thinking about those kinds of things. But yeah, no question.
That was not the answer I was expecting. Chris, man. I tried to lob Patrick a softball. You got an answer, Chris? You don't have to pick the answer I was expecting Patrick to say, but
no, I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't know the park before the Peanuts characters arrived, and it's hard to picture anyone, other than the Peanuts characters in there. I mean, I do miss the street characters. I mean, I had a very close relationship with Mayor Higginbotham as he ran for 4 more years during the county fair.
God.
That was fun. But man, I'm going to kind of have to piggyback off Patrick here and say Granny, and Barbie from the Scarowinds, the same person. I don't know if you remember the Barbie character during Scarowinds, but that's Granny, and she's pursuing her acting career in Colorado right now. Amy Armpan, shout out to you if you're listening. We miss you.
Yeah. But Andrew, is there one that you would bring back? I have a question for you.
Yeah. The one I would bring back, It's Ringo Raccoon. That's
I know that guy. Yeah.
He predates my history with the park a little bit, but he wore a crown. He used to drive the old jalopy around the park. I think that's the energy we need.
Yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah, he's really cool. I think he's nice, But yeah, I saw this like account. It was like, we want Ringo 75. Like they're a big fan.
73.
Definitely followed 73.
Yeah. Carowinds opening year, 1973.
Oh yeah, that's right. 73. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
See?
But I think that would be pretty cool. Go to sixflags.com/contact-us and submit your petition for the park to bring back Ringo Raccoon.
Okay. That's all I got to do then. Okay. Cool.
Easy.
I love that. The best part of this is an audio podcast. Patrick just pulled down a giant poster-sized photo of Ringo Raccoon from it, like it's on top of his desk. I get the benefit of that. Chris gets the benefit of that, but listening audience, nah. Yeah. All right. So, Patrick, as the de facto digital marketing, social media, I'll let you guys both tell me, where can the guests find out the latest and greatest of all things happening at Carowinds after you see it at coaster101.com or before? Yeah.
Go ahead, Chris. You start out.
Yeah, I mean, Carowinds.com, that's the best place. Sixflags.com, /Carowinds. Good stuff. The app is a great tool if you're visiting the park. Got everything you need in one spot. I'll hand the socials over to my tag team partner with a hot tag.
Whoa, coming at it. So go look up Carowinds, at Carowinds, anywhere you go, pretty much. For all of our social channels, there's a lot of really great stuff happening, a lot of really cool stories that we're being able to tell, working with our associates and members of the community, and just message us, tell us what you want to see, and we will help tell your stories out there. And then also, Chris and I are kind of working through the blog. Six Flags has a new renovated kind of blog area where you kind of see everyone's work kind of all in the same place, the multiple parks that we have, because now you can access multiple parks with your regional access with a Gold Pass. Or if you have a Prestige Pass, you're going everywhere. You can see everything that's happening across the board there, and I hope to see you at the park. I'm looking forward to it. Say hi.
Will do. All right. After you visit Carowinds.com, sixflags.com /Carowinds, at Carowinds, anywhere you can find social media, visit us.
Andrew, when's this coming out?
This is coming out probably tomorrow.
Okay. So there's still time. Vote for Carowinds in the Park Mania competition.
We need your help.
There's this little place that's got animals. I don't know, like a castle or like a realm. I don't know. It's got something. We need help with some more votes for that. So we're looking for our second time championship. So please, we need your support.
Love that. Also on coaster101.com, go there and vote. So if you're listening, make sure you're also liking, rating, reviewing, subscribing, leaving us 5-star reviews, because the more 5-star reviews and positive feedback we get, the more likely we are to get great guests like Chris and Patrick back on the podcast for their second time for Patrick, third, fourth, fifth time, whatever it is for Chris.
They're both 5-star reviews you give, the more likely we are to consider to remove Andrew's blacklist.
And keep the reviews coming.
Yeah.
And coaster101.com /merch for the latest and greatest theme park inspired Coaster 101 merchandise. And a huge shout out, as always, to JM Entertainment. I believe creators of the Sticky Paint Show coming to Carowinds this year. But they also do our theme music. So not only do they
look at that.
Yeah. Synergy, live theme park entertainment, and one podcast theme song. They also DJ'd my wedding, which was pretty cool.
Did not know that lore. That is fantastic.
That's off pod content for the Patreon.
Was it Brew Beats? Was Brew Beats out there DJing your wedding, having a performance? Sticky Paint Show.
We'll talk about this off pod.
Okay.
That's going to do it for this week's episode of the Coaster 101 podcast. We will talk to y'all again soon. See ya.